This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
I really hope that the Christmas holiday was all that you imagined. How wonderful that you could rejoin me after the festivities to open the covers of this Monday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am your host, Alison Watson. Out with the old, in with the new. Now is traditionally the time when most persons look over their stuff and decide what to toss and what to keep. We have a suggestion you might like, but that's later. Right now, we'll look at what's coming up in the news. An update on the removal of the aircraft wreckage at NMIA. A $500 million increase approved for pension payouts. And Housing Minister says more affordable houses, less squatting. The news in detail after this break.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Radio.
We'll have Caricom Up Close and House Matters in our features package.
And now the news and Kevin Clark. Research and publications. Television.
It's Wednesday, October 28th. We've got a hot Jamaica Magazine.
Welcome to another edition of
Editorial and photography. Public relations.
It is set to be the driving force of the agency.
All this and more in one place. 4 divisions, 15 departments.
The largest organization of its kind in Jamaica and I dare say in the English-speaking Caribbean.
One strategic objective.
Truth. Well told.
It's the Jamaica Information Service.
the voice of Jamaica.
And now the news. Aviation authorities say by early tomorrow morning they expect to finish removing the wreckage of the American Airlines plane which overshot the runway at the Norman Manley International Airport last week. The Port Royal Road will again be closed from 10 p.m. tonight to 4:30 tomorrow morning to complete the operation which started on the weekend. Work crews removed the tail section on Saturday. Yesterday's leg of the operation went better than expected, and the crew finished removing the nose of the aircraft 3.5 hours earlier than expected. Lieutenant Colonel Oscar Darby of the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, the JCAA, says once the midsection is moved tonight, that should conclude this phase of the operation.
That might pose to be a more difficult section to remove, as the wings are attached and they will have to separate the wings. Now, although the aircraft broke in 2 places, it was not completely separated, and so they needed time to shift the aircraft to make sure that all the attaching pieces are severed so that they can have it removed cleanly from the scene.
The aircraft was carrying 148 persons plus a crew of 6 at the time of the incident. After overshooting the runway, it ended up on the beach across the road from the airport. Most passengers suffered injuries, but there were no fatalities. Lieutenant Colonel Darby says investigators are still in fact-finding mode and cannot say yet what caused the incident.
So far, we have been gathering physical data from the crash site. We have been gathering the recorded data from the black boxes. We have been gathering information from the crew, and we still have to gather additional information from eyewitnesses, passengers, etc., which we go into as soon as we are done with the wreck.
Director of Flight Safety at the JCAA, Nari Williams Singh, and a team from the authority are leading the investigations into the incident. They are assisted by a 6-member team from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board. 7 representatives from American Airlines have also arrived in the island from Puerto Rico to assist with dismantling of the aircraft. The increased payments approved for government pensioners recently will be made retroactive to July 1. $500 million has been set aside to provide the increases in 2009-2010. Recently, the Finance Minister, Audley Shaw, tabled a ministry paper in Parliament which outlines the nature of the increases. He says $462.3 million is for government pensioners paid by the Accountant General. The other $37.6 million is for local government authorities and statutory bodies. The amount should ensure that retirees with a minimum of 20 years service receive minimum pension at a rate above the minimum wage. Approximately 22,000 or 86% of the 25,370 pensioners paid by the Accountant General's Department will receive increases. There are approximately 3,000 pensioners paid by other agencies. Housing Minister Dr. Horace Chang says more working-class Jamaicans need access to affordable housing solutions if the country's squatter problem is to be effectively addressed. He says the need for affordable housing is particularly noticeable in resort areas along the North Coast. The Housing Minister promised that development work will begin on some 10,000 solutions, including basic lots, during the upcoming financial year.
We'd like to give our people an opportunity to own their own piece legitimately, have their own land paper that they can take care of it, use it as property and wealth to go to the bank and leave for the children. It's also important to bring about some kind of development order, because when you have informal settlements, it almost inevitably ends up in some level of disorder.
Mr. Chang was speaking recently at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Eden Park housing development in Western St. Mary. When completed, the development will provide 126 lots to low-income workers in that area of the parish. Interested persons should apply to the Housing Agency of Jamaica. The Portland Infirmary has benefited from the donation of some well-needed equipment. The items, valued at approximately $600,000, were gifted by CariMed Limited as part of its outreach program. The items include medical supplies, personal care items, nutritional and household supplies, clothing, bath benches, and a computer and printer. Apotex agency manager at CariMed Limited, Michelle Powell, says the initiative reflects the company's commitment to the development of its staff and the wider community. Matron of the Portland Infirmary, Sharon Burke, is urging other organizations to emulate the example set by CariMed. Ms. Burke says she will be spearheading an effort early in the new year to establish a Friends of the Portland Infirmary organization to garner support and assistance for the facility. Computer services at the Oracabessa Branch Library in St. Mary have been restored. Last week, the library was presented with 2 new computers by Member of Parliament and the Minister of State responsible for local government, Robert Montague. Recently, 4 computers were stolen from the library, seriously inconveniencing students and other users of the facility. The donation from Minister Montague should help fill that gap. In the meantime, a number of community members have pledged to help purchase another 2 computers for the library. The Oracabessa Branch Library's computer service is of particular significance, as the community is the only one in the English-speaking Caribbean which provides free broadband wireless access to the internet. Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues.
Did you know that the symptoms of influenza A H1N1 may include fever greater than 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.8 degrees Celsius, sore throat, cough, stuffy nose, chills, head and body aches, and fatigue? If you exhibit any of these signs, consult your doctor or visit any government hospital or clinic close to you. A message from the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.